Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Cardinal Coaching Solutions podcast. Wes Gals, super happy to be here with you in our edition of the, I guess what I'm calling the November newsletter. I've started a little newsletter. If you're interested in that, reach out to me, Wes at cardinalcoachingsolutions.com, and happy to give you content right there into your inbox if that would be of value to you. Here we are in November. It's a beautiful time of year here in the Mid-Atlantic. And of course, here in the US, we are coming up on what might be the culmination of the chaos of 2020 with an election looming before us. And I'm just gonna tell you right here, right now up front, I'm not even gonna touch that in this because if you're like me, you come to places like this, you come to content like this to escape all of that kind of noise. So if that's something you're more interested in, then I'm sorry, you're just not going to find it here. I want to talk to you today about something that I've shared before. If you've been a follower of the content, you'll recognize this in a previous post or episode. I can't remember if it was a blog post or a podcast, but I want to touch on it again because the reason I want to touch on it is because I'm really, really sore. Truly, physically sore, mentally sore as well, because as I look out beyond of course you can't see this, but beyond my computer, as I look out over it through the back window, I see a weekend project that just got completed, and it's a fence. That's right. I built a fence. My dad and I built a fence in our backyard. My dad came up for the weekend. He was a tremendous help. Full disclosure, Dad was far more of the brains of this operation. He really had his mind wrapped around the measurements and how we're going to do this. It's not your standard kind of picket or wooden slat fence. We didn't need that. We didn't need privacy on this part of our backyard. The rest of our yard has neighbors' privacy fences going around at least half of it. So we didn't need privacy on this particular side, but we did need the rest of the yard fenced in. And I'm telling you way too much about fences. Anyway, it's a hog wire kind of cattle fence, and it's really unique, really interesting. I'll put a link to the YouTube video that I found. That's how I learned about this fence. I researched something that was a little bit different, but still kind of a modern feel, and I found this YouTube video, and it's really, really helpful. Anyway, enough about that. But I'm really sore, truly. My back, my shoulders. So while Dad was more the brains, I was more of the brute force, manual labor, dragging 2x4s and 2x6s and everything else all over the yard. But I'm so happy that it's done. Now, the purpose of the fence is really the purpose of what I'm going to share here. The reason we fenced in our yard is because we needed to make space for something we wanted in our lives. It's not here yet, but in order for that to be here, in order for what we do want in our lives, we needed this. We needed to make this kind of space for it. Now, again, if you've been a listener, you know I've got 2 young kiddos, 2 little girls, and I don't know if it was COVID lockdown crisis. I don't know. I'm sure you know where this is going. Okay, I'm dragging it out longer than it needs to be. Essentially, we are going to get a puppy. At some point, we're going to bring a little fur buddy into our lives. I grew up with dogs, and so I'm excited for my kids to experience that. However, we live on a corner, and it's kind of the main thoroughfare through our neighborhood. And neither of the yards are fenced. And so in order for us to bring that into our lives, we needed to make the space for it. Now, I've mentioned this, like I said, in a previous episode of some kind, in regards to a guitar that I purchased a couple years ago now. And I'm sure, as maybe you can tell from the background behind me, the books behind me, music is a big part of my life. It's a big creative outlet for me. I write music, perform music here locally in Virginia Beach. It's just a part of who I am and how I express myself. And so I'll try to find that and provide a link to that particular episode here. But long story short, there was this particular guitar that I wanted. A really specific guitar. I already had one electric guitar. It's a Fender Telecaster. I love that guitar. I'll never part with that guitar. But I was playing longer and longer sets. It's a really heavy guitar. It's a solid body guitar. And additionally, I thought it'd be really good to have something that in case one goes down, I can finish out the show there with that. But I wanted a very specific guitar. Very, very specific. I searched it. I'm going to say it's probably a good 3 years from when I even learned about this guitar and began searching for it. Anyway, I knew what I wanted, but I had to make space for it. So about 3 months before I ended up finding that guitar, I went out and I bought, I think I bought it on a used site, OfferUp or Craigslist or something. I bought a two-headed guitar stand. I only have one guitar, but I needed a stand that would hold two guitars because I knew that guitar is going to be in my life at some point. I know that. I can see it. I don't know when, but I'm going to take action to communicate. I'm communicating my wants, my desires, what I envision. I'm sending that message, that vibration out to the universe, God, energy, whatever you want to call it, that I'm serious about this. I want this in my life, and I'm taking action to make space for it and room for it. If that guitar, when that guitar shows up on my doorstep, it will see a welcome space. It will see a home. Same thing for this puppy. When it arrives, we don't yet have it. We don't know when we're going to get it. But when it arrives, it will have a space. We've made that space for it. Man, I have so much energy around this topic, and my encouragement to you is, as we near the new year, whatever that is for you, that you are realizing, I want this in my life, a new relationship, a new job, a new position. It could be something tangible like what I'm describing, puppy, guitar, new degree. I don't know. Whatever that is for you that you are sensing wants to come into your life, or you want that in your life, my encouragement to you would be, in all of the investigating and research and action you're taking, think about it spatially as well. Maybe that can be helpful for you. Think about it in terms of space. What do you need to create? What do you need to release in order to make that space? What do you need to add in order to make that space? In the few examples I gave, I needed to add some items. I needed a stand. We needed a fence. When you think about it spatially, sometimes that can generate the action or an action that can really help align you with that longing inside you. It can be a bold message to, like I've said, the universe, energy, God, whatever that is, that you're serious about this. So I hope that's helpful for you. If it's something that you'd like to explore, you'd like to have a conversation around that, I love those kinds of conversations. I love exploring things like that. Please do reach out. Wes, W-E-S, at Cardinal Coaching Solutions. Listen, thanks again so much for listening. Wherever you are, whoever you are, I see your downloads. I see your plays. I so very much appreciate it. And I'm wishing you well as we move into November and into the new year, I'm wishing you health, wellness, and just inner alignment with whatever has come up for you this year that you want. I am sending for whatever it's worth, I'm sending all of my positive vibes to you on that. So thanks again for listening, and we'll do this again soon.